We would classify the following dishes as 21st century food trends: avocado toast, goat cheese, and alternative meat dishes. But did you realize that these dishes' foundations have been around for a while? In some situations, thousands of years. The basic recipes that we take for granted today were developed by our early human predecessors because they, like us, enjoyed excellent food. Different people in different parts of the world were responsible for creating or discovering some of our favorite dishes today, including pancakes, pot pie, and popcorn. Which food do you believe will be the oldest then? Watch the video to be surprised. Grind that like and subscribe button as we go to the first dish. Noodles. 4,000 years. The art of the ideal noodle is in and of itself, and it appears that the Chinese can claim credit for popularizing noodles around the globe. In actuality, China holds the distinction for both the earliest physical noodles ever discovered and the very first account of noodles in writing. Noodles were mentioned in writing for the first time over 2,000 years ago during the East Han Dynasty. The oldest actual noodles, however, were found at an excavation site in a dish that had been turned upside down. The seal created by this bowl protected the priceless food inside. Pancakes. 5,200 years. Unlike the boxed mixes we're used to today, one of the all-time great breakfast recipes has a much older background. We have Otzi the Iceman to thank for assisting us in dating this dish. World-famous Copper Age mummy Otzi the Iceman made quite a stir when he was discovered in the Italian Alps in 1991. The ice and snow in the mountains preserved Otzi's body remarkably well despite the fact that he lived some 5,300 years ago. In fact, the hikers who discovered him believed he was an unfortunate hiker who had recently perished. Archaeologists found red beef and einkorn wheat pancakes in one of his final meals after probing his stomach cavities. Cheesecake. 2,000 years. Let's sketch out a scene. Think about a top athlete who is set to compete in the Olympic Championship. What kind of meals would you expect them to eat before the race? Was cheesecake in your mind? No? For the ancient Greeks, it undoubtedly did, and they were fitness experts. Over 2,000 years ago, the Greeks combined mild cheese with flour and honey to create the cheesecake recipe we know today. Prior to the first Olympic Games, they would feed their athletes this dish because they thought it supplied energy. When the Romans overthrew the Greeks, they gave this dish their own distinctive twist by incorporating ricotta and eggs to make the cheesecake more tender. Popcorn. 4,000 years. Humanity has relied on maize for a very long time. It follows that the delicious method of popping the aforementioned corn gained popularity. Although the origin of popcorn tends to strangely vary greatly, it is thought to be around 4,000 years old. This has been confirmed by puffed kernels discovered by researchers in Mexican caves. Popcorn served as more than just a tasty treat for the Aztecs. They used it as ornamentation and to adorn their god statues, jewelry, and clothing. Pot pie. 3,700 years. Today, there are many other ways to enjoy pot pies, like making them from scratch or buying frozen Marie calendars. However, it was first relished in Mesopotamia around 3,700 years ago. Although their ingredients might have been a little different than those used now, their pot pies also came in a variety of flavors. They did consume little bird meat, but they also consumed organ meats from modern poultry such as the hearts, livers, and gizzards. However, these are quite protein-rich, right? Their sauce was also different from what we're used to, leaning more toward the hot side than the savory. All of this was baked in a seasoned crust, producing a meal somewhat resembling the one we are familiar with today. Bread. 14,000 years. One of the first food products manufactured by humans was bread. People have been making their own varieties of bread for tens of thousands of years. Archaeologists previously believed that humans first began baking bread some 10,000 years ago. This made sense because it would have happened after early humans began to settle down and practice agriculture. However, in 2018, when excavating a 14-year-old fireplace in Jordan, An archaeologist found what were practically crumbs. After closer inspection, it was discovered that they were breadcrumbs from the world's oldest known loaf of bread, which is about 4,000 years older than first believed. This means that humans started creating bread even before they started agriculture. So, did you expect these dishes to be present in such old times? What do you think is another dish that would be used by humans for a very long time? Let us know in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this, which will blow your mind.